Mic check. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Hey guys, what's going on? Welcome to hashtag TNT Joe Fly Tech News that Jerome Ortega finds interesting. I am your host, Jerome Ortega, and I just realized I didn't put my green screen up, so you guys get to see the bed behind me. Anyway, that's fine. We're doing it live. This is how we do it. So, how you doing, guys? How's it going? Samsung had a lot of stuff today. Did anybody watch this event? I watched a little of it. I don't know. We'll talk about it though. I have a few choice opinions on it, but yeah, I don't know. It wasn't the most exciting. I really wasn't too hyped for it to begin with, but yeah, we'll talk about it. Anyway, let me do a couple things here. Let me get into chat. Let me say hi to everybody real quick. It looks like Max Tech Studios was first today. So Max Tech Studios, congratulations. You win me saying that you're first. Welcome to the stream. Deepak Murthy is second. Deepak, what's going on? Welcome. Max also says, my favorite Samsung announcement today was the Galaxy Z Fold 2. It's the correct way to make a foldable phone. The Galaxy Z Flip is so stupid. I'll have to take a look. I didn't get to watch. Well, I didn't get to watch much of it. I watched a little bit. You know, I had to do some work earlier today, so I didn't have a chance to really go through much. But you know, I think I have an article here that was saying that the Z Flip 2 or whatever, right? Z Fold 2. I forget the names. Is a lot better than the original, so we'll talk about it. Team Varai is in here as well. Team Varai, what's going on? I came into that event excited. The longer I watched, the more bored I got, to be honest. I started watching it, and I don't know about you guys, but for me, as I watched it, I felt like I was trying not to cringe, which is not a good thing. not a good thing. Brian is in here as well. What up, everyone? What's going on, Brian? Welcome. Brian also says, hold the stream down. Going to be driving and trying not to text. Yes, be safe, please. Juan Carlos is in here as well. Juan Carlos, hey, what's up, Jerome? What's going on, Juan Carlos? Welcome to the stream. Welcome to the stream. Team Vari also says, as an Android guy, I was more hyped for WWDC. That's not promising at all. The presenters at the event all felt like they were reading from a script. I mean, that's exactly what they were doing, were they not? I'm pretty sure they were. The Fold sequel is exciting, though. Yeah, if anything, the thing I got out of the event is at least the tech, the hardware in there, it looks pretty good. So we'll talk about it. Javier is in here as well. A phone should not cost $1,000 and be plastic, Samsung. Wait, is there Note 20? Is there a Note 20 plastic? Is that what you're saying? The Note 20 is plastic? No, it's not, is it? Is it really? Okay, we'll talk about it. Kotaswara Rao Pasupuletti. Hey, Kotaswara, what's going on? Welcome. Hello, Jerome. Hello, Kotaswara. Welcome. Appreciate you stopping by in the stream. Kea, I'm probably saying it wrong. Please let me know how to pronounce your name properly. Kea, what up? What's going on? Welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. Kea's also saying, yep, I watched it all. Wow. It was a pretty long stream, was it not? Or was it about an hour? I don't know. Okay. Deepak Murthy is it? Oh, well, yeah, I already said Deepak Murthy. Hey, Deepak. Hello again. Javier says, that is all from today's resident Chicagoan. Wait, Javier, did I know you're from Chicago? Did I know this already? Or is this new for me? Anyway, from another Chicagoan to another. Hello. Oddweight is in here. Oddweight, yo, what's going on, Oddweight? Welcome. I might have good news for Samsung users. I'm sure they'd want to hear it, so please feel free to share. The base Note 20 is plastic. What? How is $1,000 phone plastic? Really? Mauricio Salazar Rosas. Mauricio, welcome. Yes, it's plastic. The Note 20. What? How is this $1,000 phone plastic? Marshall, what's going on? Welcome. Yep, the small Note is plastic. Why do we have $1,000 plastic phone? What is the reasoning for $1,000 plastic phone? I would love to see how much this phone actually costs to manufacture. Why is it plastic? 6 says cringe event. Yeah, that's how I felt. LOL. And now we're paying $1,000 for plastic. Way to go, Samsung. Why is this happening? Yeah, the smaller Note 20 is plastic and only a 1080p display. Wow. Okay, we'll talk about it, guys. Kea, right? I said it right the first time. I can't remember the right way I said it. Kea? Hopefully I'm saying it right. Let me know again. Brian says the regular Note 20 has a plastic back. Paul is in here. Paul, what's going on? WTF, plastic? Oddweight is saying apparently they're giving 3 Android updates. Well, there's good news. That's some good news, right? JK12324, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. I thought the presentation was a bit awkward and cringy too. There we go. See, I felt like I wasn't the only one. Then I remembered the atrocity that was the Galaxy S4 reveal. I don't even remember, to be honest with you. I have no idea about that reveal. Javier is not so happy at this point. Javier also says at that point, just buy the Ultra. Seriously. Team Vari says at least give it an aluminum frame. Yeah, right? Kodaswara is also saying, yes, Note 20 is plastic, 60 hertz display, and $1,000. What is going on? Why? Wow. Huh. Oddweight says plastic plus Exynos equals a phone as dead as Adam Sandler's career. I used to like Adam Sandler back in the day. I guess I don't feel very similarly today, but anyway, Y is also saying that normal Note 20 is very overpriced. Yeah, overpriced kind of sounds like an overstatement or an understatement or whatever. You guys know what I'm talking about. Deepak says the plastic 4A is a trendsetter. Wow. Okay, we're going to talk about this. Maria C also says, I don't understand Samsung's strategy by having a Note 20 that's inferior and more expensive than the S20 Plus, with which it shares its hardware. Yes, actually, that's a really good point. So the S20 doesn't have a plastic frame, right? Or a plastic design or a plastic body. It, huh. Say E, not A. Oh, Kia. When you say my name and you got it. Kia, got it. Thank you, Kia, for correcting me. Thank you, thank you. Y says $800 should have been the price. I could see that. Team Verizon says I'm all right with plastic on the 4A because it's a freaking 4A. Yeah, it's not $1,000. Raymond John, what's going on, Raymond? Welcome to the stream. Exynos variant in India, that's not worth it at all. Yeah, I mean, I thought if I told somebody that you would be spending $1,000 on a phone, plastic would not be the first thing that's coming out of it. Why saying S20 is way better? Yeah, obviously at this point. Oddwade saying Samsung wants to sell more OLEDs. They're letting Apple take the charge now. Okay, you know what? Let's kind of get into this. I thought I had a different clip here, and I thought I pulled it up. I guess not. I wanted to bring up the fact that actually let me try to pull it up real quick. Give me 1 second here, guys. I wanted to pull up the Samsung event because I wanted to give you my thoughts on the event as well, or at least how I thought about it. Because here we go. It's actually right at that point. So give me 1 second here as I move this over. So what's funny about this event is it to me, it felt very forced. This event just felt like I thought this was kind of cool at the beginning because I was like, oh, okay, kind of like an audience, but on TVs. But it was just like, as I saw these people in the back, I was in my head, I was like, well, how much did they prompt you to, be super excited and like jump around and show your enthusiasm? And you guys know how I feel about these events. I feel like they're overdone. I feel like they've probably been done to death now. Apple kind of started this, but everyone else has taken off doing these things as well, adding music to it, adding, whatever special guests, celebrities. I think at one point I was watching this and BTS came on, and I mean, they weren't on live, but at a certain point, it just seems like too much. And after having a silent event, not a silent event, but a silent, when they introduced the iPhone SE 2020 or the 2020 iPhone SE, when they announced the Galaxy, when they announced the Google Pixel 4a, it was real low key, like they had discussed. It wasn't this big, huge event, and I appreciated that so much more than what this ended up being. I just felt like it was unnecessary. And I don't know if that's something they're going to continue doing. But one thing that I noticed, the very first tip off when I saw this, or like what this was going to end up being, was when I looked and noticed that they turned off the likes and the dislikes here. They turned it off. So they turned off the chat replay, so you couldn't watch any of that. And I was like, okay, it probably didn't go the way they expected it at all. I didn't watch it live. I wasn't, I was working, so I didn't watch it live. So I didn't get to see the entire event. I didn't get to see how the whole thing came out. But from the little bit that I did see of it, I don't know. It wasn't for me. There was one part I wanted to like share, and I think it might be here. I was trying to remember in my head what point it was at, but I think, was it here? No, it wasn't. I thought it was. It's just I had seen someone in the background and just like being like completely over enthusiastic, and I just felt like it seemed very not scripted, but it's like you were paid to be part of the audience or whatever. Anyway, so this first article I have actually is talking about who made this. VentureBeat says Samsung should probably just stop doing its Unpacked events. Okay, so we're just going to quickly go through this. I'm not going to like read this entire thing here. but it says here, even if you can't name a single memorable past announcement from past Unpacked shows, you surely know what I'm referring to. Semi-annual press events where Samsung, quote, reveals a bunch of new products, except that the products were so extensively leaked beforehand that no mystery remains for the official announcements, leaving viewers to sit through awkwardly staged presentations. And that's exactly what this was. A stage presentation. Today's Unpacked was especially pointless. Everything leaked before the event began, not just photos and videos of all the products, but also internal marketing documents discussing the new features alongside canned responses from media. If Unpacked events had the same thoughtful internal structures of the Apple media events they copy, they might still be worthwhile as marketing exercises, but that's not the case. If I had to name the single biggest failing of Unpacked, it was Samsung's inability to market just one product at a time. The company oddly used its initial reveal of the flagship Note 20 smartphone to focus on chassis colors, not features, including the first of way too many references to Mystic Bronze. And then it goes on, and I'm not really going to go through this. When I saw this article, I kind of resonated with it, and I was not really thrilled with the event at all. I mean, if you enjoyed it, that's great. I still feel like they had great products, or I feel like the products are still decent, or at least they're high-end ones, but I had no idea, guys, that they were offering $1,000 plastic phone. Who's going to be buying $1,000 plastic phone? Seriously. So we might as well jump into it, and we might as well start talking about this Note 20. So this article from Android Central is saying the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra, everything you need to know. And I really want to read into this because I don't know too much about it. I didn't watch much of this event, so I honestly don't know everything that happened here. When it comes to Android smartphones, few companies attract as much buzz and attention as Samsung does. Samsung has established itself as the market leader in the space, and it's continuing that dominance yet again with the Note 20 series. So 2020 is treating us to two 2020 is treating us to two new Note devices taking the form of the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. So this year I just assumed that there was going to be the S20, like how there was the S20, the S20 Plus, and then the S20 Ultra. Now it's just the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra. The former delivers the core Note experience without a lot of flashy features, whereas the latter packs all of the highest end specs and components that Samsung could get its hands on. Okay, so let's read about what this has here. So, this is a phone. Okay, this is for the Note 20 Ultra. This is a phone that has everything you could want in a 2020 flagship, Snap 865 Plus, 120 hertz display, powerful cameras, and more. So the regular Galaxy Note 20 costs $1,000, and if you want to upgrade to the Note 20 Ultra, it starts at $1,300 for 100 and wow. So $1,300 for 128 gigs. I know I always talk about this, but my Huawei P40 Pro Plus is $1,300, and this has 512 gigs of internal storage. This also has a 10 times optical zoom on it. Now, I know they're inherently different phones, but $1,300 for 128 gigs. Wow. So it says here there's also a 512 gig version for more money. That's a lot to how much is the 512 gig version? Guys, anybody? That's a lot to spend for a new phone, and thankfully Samsung cuts down the prices considerably if you trade in your current device. Trade-ins are valued up to $650, and if you take advantage of that with Samsung's monthly installment plans, that works out to about $10 a month for the Note 20 and about $18 a month for the Note 20 Ultra. But what are you trading in that they're giving you $650 for? Additionally, if you purchase either phone with a Samsung Money by SoFi account, I don't even know what that is, you can get another 7.5% discount on top of that. So it doesn't, pre-orders for the Note 20 will be active between August 6th and August 20th. If you place your order between those two dates, You can get a credit to Samsung's online store for use on curated bundles or select products like Samsung TVs, Galaxy Buds Live, tablets, and more. You'll get $100 credit if you pre-order the Galaxy Note 20. And if you step up to the Note 20 Ultra, the credit is increased to $150. I still don't know if it's worth it. I don't know. Let me see here. Why are these guys not talking about the plastic though? This is what I want to kind of get into. So the Note 20 Ultra is definitely the most interesting of the two, offering flagship features like 120 hertz display, 108 megapixel camera, and more, blah, 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 S Pen. We get that. If you're paying $1,300 for a phone, it better have all of these specs on here. But even for $1,000 phone, you would expect still top tier. You would still expect a top tier build quality, especially for a company like Samsung that's known for having high end hardware. To offer a plastic back just doesn't make any sense to me. Why Android Central is not talking about this yet is kind of befuddling. Why are they not bringing this up here? So if we're talking about the two differences between the Note 20 and the Note 20 Ultra, a 6.7 inch display versus a 6.9, they're both AMOLED. One is a 1080. So the Note 20, the $1,000 Note 20 is a 1080p 60 hertz refresh rate versus the $1,300 Note 20, which is Quad HD 1440p with 120 hertz refresh rate. Same chipset, 8 gigs of RAM on the Note 20 versus 12 gigs on the Ultra, and then 128 gigs of storage versus 512 here. The Note 20 doesn't even have expandable storage. I don't even understand why they would remove that. I feel like you would just end up having to create more hardware or change things around instead of just having it completely. Wow. Okay. So the rear camera, the secondary camera has a 3 times hybrid zoom versus the 5 times optical. Same ultra wide camera, same front camera, it looks like, and then a 4,500 milliamp hour battery versus a 4,300 milliamp hour. So here, okay, hopefully they talk about the build here. So the Note 20, okay, actually, sorry, I'm like looking in chat. Cota Suarez saying 512 gigs is $1,450, so almost $1,500 for 512 gigs. An extra $150 to get 512 gigs of internal storage. That's actually cheaper than I thought it was going to be. I thought it was going to be like $1,700, $1,600, something like that. All right, so let's talk about the differences here. We've hinted a lot at the differences between the Note 20 and Note 20 Ultra, but what makes these so significant? It all starts with the displays, specifically the refresh rate supported by each phone. The Galaxy Note 20 Ultra comes equipped with a 120 hertz screen, as you'd expect. Comparatively, the regular Note 20 is limited to the standard 60 hertz rate. 60 hertz screens aren't unusable in 2020, but the fact that the Note 20 costs as much as it does and is stuck at 60 hertz is pretty disappointing. Here we go. There's also a big difference in regards to build quality. Let's kind of just make this a little bigger here. You get the standard treatment. You get the standard treatment of a metal and glass construction for the Note 20 Ultra, but the Note 20 drops the glass back in favor of a plastic one. As you'd expect, it makes the phone feel noticeably cheaper. Can you imagine telling someone that you paid $1,000 for this phone and then they feel that phone and you can't even brag about the build quality of that phone? I mean, hell, a TCL 10 Pro is $450 and has a premium build quality to it. To think that you'd be paying $1,000 for a phone and you'd be getting plastic materials just doesn't make any sense to me. I for some reason, like, I'm not spazzing out because I'm kind of in shock that I just would not expect that. I wouldn't even think this would be a thing. Is this something that they even talked about in the rumors? We've heard all the rumors about these phones. Did anybody even mention the fact that the Note 20 was going to be coming in plastic at $1,000? If they really wanted to put a plastic build on this body, then they should have dropped the price. For sure, they should have dropped the price. Not offer $1,000 for this phone. Like why said in chat here, they should have offered it at like $800 with an 800 with a Snap 865 plus chipset, 8 gigs of RAM, 128 gigs of internal storage, and still offer premium cameras. $800 makes a lot of sense. Team Verizon saying audio is dropping. I don't. Let me know if audio. I don't know what I can do on my end here. If audio is still having issues, please let me know. And also I will get into chat, guys. I just am really surprised at how bad or how expensive this phone is with the kind of quality that it's getting. Samsung stripped a few features from last year's Note 10 that were offered on the more expensive Note 10 Plus, but nowhere to the same extent that we have this year. Okay, give me a second here, guys. I don't know why my audio quality or my actual quality on here would be off. Let me know if quality is still dropping. I don't really know what else I can do on my end though, because everything is like completely off as I normally have it. So give me 1 second. Sorry guys, I'm just checking my quality here on stuff. Okay, Deepak saying the audio is perfect. Sounds good to me. Okay, we'll continue. I don't know. Maybe just things got off for a second there. But let's go ahead and continue on. I do see chat in here, so I will get into chat. I just I'm really surprised that Samsung would pull something like this, but I guess at this point too, should I be surprised anymore? Should I be surprised at the fact that these companies are skimping on things to really profit as much as they do? Maybe I shouldn't be surprised anymore. Maybe this is just a sign of things to come. It makes me think, is Samsung just going to start doing this in the future as well? Is this what's going to happen for the successor to the Galaxy S20, S20 Plus, or whatever? Is the next successor to the S20 going to be another plastic build? Is this something that other companies are going to start doing as we move forward? It makes me also wonder if Samsung's going to say, no, we had to give a plastic build because we're going to blame everything on Qualcomm. It's Qualcomm's fault. It's because Qualcomm is offering the 865 Plus at such a high price that we had to add, or that we could only offer plastic. It just, to me, that sounds like a bunch of BS. To me, it sounds like they aren't making as much profit as they normally would, so they had to skimp at the material and the build quality for it. It's weird because it's like I would rage at something like this, and it's not even rage anymore. I'm just kind of shocked that they would do this, and it's leaving me speechless at one point, or speechless in one hand, but also not surprised in the other. It's like, yeah, a company would do this. Why wouldn't they do this? Why are we not surprised anymore? Companies are skimping in all these ways. I mean, here's the bottom line with a lot of this. The one saving grace out of all of this is that we don't have to buy this phone. We don't have to spend money on a Note 20. We don't have to spend money on a Note 20 Ultra. We don't have to spend $1,500, $1,000, whatever. Because now we have a segment that is starting to come up. We have this $400 segment that's coming up, $350, $500. And maybe that is, if we speak with our wallets, right? If we spend our money on those phones instead and skip these $1,000 phones, $1,200, $1,500, $1,700, whatever, then maybe that will change the direction of things to come. I mean, we're also, sorry, I'm like adjusting here. We're also in a pandemic right now where people don't want to spend this much money on a phone. And maybe at this point, these companies are just trying to flex, and they're just trying to offer the highest end flagships with the highest end specs and build material and charge as much. And they're just trying to flex like Apple does. Just like Apple's, however, how much were those stupid wheels? Whatever those wheels cost, whatever. maybe that's what they're doing, but we don't have to spend our money on stuff like that. So, continuing on, are there fun colors for the Note 20? Here are the colors. I mean, here's the thing. I think the phone looks nice. Like I think it looks like a premium phone. I didn't know about the plastic build, but other than that, like the phone looks high quality, right? It's something that I already expected from Samsung, in general. But I guess it kind of comes out of left field, I guess. Okay, so these are just more things about the Note 20 here. I feel like the Note 20 is kind of pointless at $1,000. How could I recommend a plastic phone for $1,000 to anybody? And we all know that other phones at under $1,000 will probably provide similar quality, similar specs, similar performance, similar camera improvements. Maybe not. Maybe I would have to dive into it more, but I just don't feel like you should be spending $1,000 on a phone with a plastic back to it. What's funny is when I bought this $1,300 phone, I spent $1,300 on this phone because this is for people who are watching and don't know. This is my Huawei P40 Pro Plus. I spent $1,300. I spent $1,300 on this phone, and I didn't have to. I didn't. I could have bought a P40 Pro instead for way cheaper. It wouldn't have had the 10 times optical zoom. But one of the reasons I bought this was for the 10 times optical zoom, but also because I bought it for the build quality. I know that sounds crazy, but I bought it because it had a ceramic back and it had a hefty weight to it, and it screamed of build quality. That was one of the reasons I spent the money on a phone. Crazy. Like, it's not something that I recommend people doing. I don't recommend that you buy a phone based on like build quality. I don't. But I bought it because I wanted like the top of the top. Right. I wanted something high end. I wanted 512 because I also got it because of the 10 times optical zoom. And believe me when I tell you the optical zoom on this is amazing. I know I owe you guys a camera comparison. I got to get on it. But 512 gigs of internal storage, a 10 times optical zoom, and like a ceramic back, just excellent build quality on it. $1,300. To think that the Note 20 Ultra is a $1,300 phone with a 5 times optical zoom and probably cannot perform camera-wise as my Huawei P40 Pro Plus, and 128 gigs of internal storage, it just, you're buying that phone then at this point for its brand name and to see what it can pull, to see if you can spend the money. Yeah, no, you know what though? This phone has a 120 hertz display, probably has a much better display than what my Huawei P40 Pro Plus can give me, but I still don't know if it's worth it. Let me see here. I wanna kind of like, I will get into chat, but I have this other article that kind of follows up on the Note 20. And they're talking about the S20 Ultra versus the Note 20 Ultra and what did Samsung learn from its last Ultra phone. I haven't had a chance to read this, so we're going to kind of get into this here. And I'm just going to read here kind of what struck out to me. So, well, look at this. So the S20 Ultra had the option of 16 gigs of RAM. The S20 Ultra versus the Note 20 Ultra had a bigger battery at 5,000 milliamp hours. This one is saying 45 wired, but not really. I don't know the thing about that. So this also has 25 watt wired. So my P40 Pro Plus has a faster wired on this as well. My P40 Pro Plus charges at 40 watts wired. So this is probably the biggest thing on the Note 20 Ultra versus the S20 Ultra is the fact that they probably fixed the autofocus on this phone, which is a shame for people who spent the money on a Galaxy S20 Ultra and they're stuck with an autofocus that does not work properly. Despite what they've said that they fixed it or whatever, I don't think that they have completely. And then $1,300 versus $1,400. So they've dropped the price $100 here. So I'm just trying to read here what I want to talk about this autofocus issue. Attentive readers and Samsung fans may remember the autofocus issues the S20 Ultra suffered. Though the phone packed in a massive sensor, apparently that increase in size resulted in problems like slow and hunting autofocus. Some claim that subsequent updates were able to reduce the problem, though it never really went away. To me, if you spent $1,300 on a phone and it had autofocus issues, like one of the reasons that you bought that S20 Ultra was for its camera. And to have autofocus issues at $1,300, or was it $1,400? $1,400, right? Is unacceptable. I would have returned that phone after that, or during that 30-day warranty. And even if it expired after, and I found that out afterwards, I would have fought tooth and nail to get that phone turned in, refunded, whatever. I maybe would have tried to get it replaced. And if it never fixed it, I would have just said, no, refund my money. Or, I'll take whatever measures I can to get my money back, because that is unacceptable. Don't pay $1,400 for a phone if you're going to have autofocus issues. I mean, at least for me, camera is one of the priorities. And if I'm spending that much money for a phone, like, be sure that I'm not going to be like sitting idly by and having autofocus issues and let them get away with that. You're not spending your hard-earned money to have a company shit on your purchase and give you a subpar performing camera phone. And it looks like here the Note 20 Ultra has fixed that, which is great. But God, do I feel bad for people who spent money on their S20 Ultra and don't even realize that they are having issues. But maybe they don't care, or they don't know. It's a shame. It's a shame that a company could get away with that and they pocket your money knowing that there were issues when it comes to autofocus. And, well, I don't know. I guess buyer beware, right? So it says here, in effect, the Note 20 Ultra admits that was a design defect. Or at least a tremendous oversight. Wow, what an oversight. With the inclusion of a laser autofocus module that promises much faster focusing. Well, at least they corrected it for the Note 20 Ultra. So it says here, the telephoto camera on the Note 20 Ultra also has a slightly larger aperture, f3 compared to f3.5, and that actually could make a difference as well. Well, that's good here. Samsung also seems to have learned that its hyperbolic 100 times space zoom in the S20 Ultra was a step too far, and which again is a marketing thing. People spent way too money, or people got caught in too much of this hype for this 100 times space zoom when it effectively didn't really do much of anything here. Results at the far end of that range were pretty terrible, impressive at times that subjects were even recognizable, but ultimately a muddy, useless mess. But its software-assisted zoom did an acceptable job up to around 30 to 50 times, and Samsung has drawn its new line at precisely 50 times. So at least they corrected that, or they didn't go ahead and just started bragging about 100 times zoom, even though they knew it was going to be shitty anyway. The last big change that shows Samsung learning something from the S20 Ultra is the Note 20 Ultra's diminished charging speed. This time around, things max at a more pedestrian but more realistic 25 watts. Since the Note 10 Plus, Samsung's been advertising a hyperbolic 45-watt USB power delivery-based charging solution, but in repeated testing, none of its phones ever reached, let alone sustained, such speeds, maxing out closer to 30 to 35 watts before falling. 25 watts is probably a more realistic goal and a much more honest number to advertise. Hold on here. I didn't realize this. The S20 Ultra, okay, I knew that the S20 Ultra had issues with autofocus. I knew that people paid $1,400 for a phone with a failing camera. Whether somebody wants to argue with me on that or not, I mean, I guess you have the right to if you own the phone, because I don't. But it seems like from multiple articles I've read, from multiple reports from other tech uh, sites and enthusiasts and YouTubers or whatever, the autofocus is an issue on the S20 Ultra. Somebody paid $1,400 for a phone that has an autofocusing issue. That is one huge glaring mistake that you paid a lot of money for. And if you still have that phone and are having that issue, I'm sorry, for one. Two, I don't know why you haven't fought to get your money back for that, because that's an unacceptable flaw. And especially now that the Note 20 Ultra is out, why would you accept that as your phone after you paid the money for it? That is number one. Number two, I didn't realize, well, two, or a small two or a big two, is we can talk about this 100 times zoom, right? So this is another part of the camera that you paid your $1,400 for. So yes, autofocus, the major issue there, a flaw, a design defect, whatever they want to call it. Samsung, I've been really good about my swearing here, because like I want to keep my stuff monetized, but Samsung fucked up here. They fucked up. They did. They made a mistake. They let people pay $1,400 for the phone, and how much money did they get away for doing that? Probably a lot of money. They got to pocket a lot of money, and no returns, no nothing. I mean, I'm sure if you called and you bitched about it, they would probably do something for you. But you would have to be proactive and do that yourself. Otherwise, you are just sitting there with a $1,400 phone that you paid for, and Samsung gets to pocket that money and smiles as they do it, while they get to go ahead and release new phones that you'll probably pay more money for, and who knows what kind of defect that might have down the road. Then they market space, this 100 times space zoom, where you can go see a mile down the road and you can see what the other person across the apartment building is doing in the shower. You guys know what I'm talking about. And that was shitty too. It effectively was not really like, yeah, did it zoom 100 times in? Kind of, but was it even useful? Probably not. So here they are now correcting themselves with it on the Note 20 Ultra, saying, yeah, it does 50. And like they said here, it's probably more, useful between the 30 and 50 times zoom, which is okay. But Samsung gets away with that as well, marketing 100 times zoom. And then I'm reading this thing here about the charging. I didn't realize this. So I knew that Samsung bragged about 45-watt charging, but I did not know that it was not capable, or that it was incapable of charging at 45 watts. I didn't realize this. In repeated testing, none of its phones ever reached, let alone sustained, such speeds, maxing out closer to 30 to 35 watts before falling. 25 watts is probably a more realistic goal and a much more honest number to advertise. You're telling people to spend $1,400 for a phone. You're bragging about 100 times zoom that effectively doesn't work. You're bragging about 45-watt charging that effectively doesn't work as well, which is probably why you included only a 25-watt charger in there, right? That's why you did that, Samsung. Like I'm sitting here now fuming because I don't spend money on Samsung phones. I have in the past. I recently bought, that international Galaxy A71 that I ended up returning after the 30 days. But seeing this kind of stuff is what pisses me off, because you are straight up just lying to your consumer. How can I recommend a Samsung phone when this is the shit that you pull as a company? And then now we're sitting here talking about the Note 20 that's $1,000 that has a plastic back. How can I recommend your products to people? Like, Samsung has been known to have good build quality. I've always given them that. shitty software usually, but good build quality, great display, right? But I read this kind of stuff, and I don't even know why I haven't. And it's because I haven't owned a Samsung in a while, so I haven't bitched about any of this stuff in a long time. But reading this kind of stuff, like that is, I didn't expect that. I really didn't. I feel like the Note 20 Ultra is their fix to a fuck up of the S20 Ultra. That's what the Note 20 Ultra is. It's a fix to their fuck up of the S20 Ultra. Um, huh. It's funny because I'm looking at this article, and it says here, lastly, of course, is the price. The new Note 20 Ultra runs $100 cheaper than the S20 Ultra did. With its various improvements over the older phone, it's a slightly better value. If any phone over $1,000 can be considered value. I mean, definitely it's a better value than the S20 Ultra. Is it a value of a phone? Probably not. Probably not. Um, so this last statement here, we're gonna read it because I feel two ways about this. Um, So the new bolted on laser autofocus module and reduction in space zoom are pretty clear indicators that Samsung actually is listening and that it's learned a few important things from its first Ultra flagship. The company could just as easily have ignored complaints about autofocus and inflated zoom numbers and shipped a device that was much closer to the S20 Ultra, waiting to improve things with the Galaxy S30 or S21, whatever it ends up being called. But Samsung paid attention and we got a better phone for it. No, they straight up lie to you. They straight up exaggerate and manipulate the wording to make you buy a phone, and then when you get it, after you spend all your hard-earned money, you get shit for all that money you paid for. There are many other phones that you could have probably bought, or hundreds of dollars you could have saved instead of having to deal with that. That's it. That's all I have to say. This is that's yeah. Okay. I didn't I came into this not even really upset. I was just like, yep, that's Samsung. This is what's gonna happen. Plastic back. Oh geez, that's crazy. But now here I am, and I'm just like thoroughly upset about it. All right. Let me scroll back up here. I know a lot of you guys are in chat, and I wanna say hi and make sure I get through all of these chats in here. Not all of it, but a good amount. So Kodeswara, if we go back and we talk about the Pixel 4a, Pixel 4a is plastic, 1080p, 60 hertz display, pure Android, great camera, as good as a Note 20 and $350. Kodeswara, you are not wrong. The Pixel 4a is probably a phone that I will most likely recommend to people day in and day out. I just need to get my hands on one to confirm that. But even from I can pretty much agree with that statement for sure. Okay. Okay. So let me scroll down. I see some other chats here. I can't get into everything in here. Oddweight says, unrelated suggestion. Why don't you stream on Twitch? I am streaming on Twitch. I'm streaming right now, multi-streaming. If you go to twitch.tv/phone Jerome, you can find me on Twitch as well. So I am multi-streaming on multiple platforms because I do not believe in staying loyal to just one platform at this point. I used to, but not anymore. Anyway, thank you for the suggestion, Oddweight. Days one. I know this is an earlier comment, so I don't know if you're still here, but I appreciate you stopping by. It's been a minute, man. It's been a minute. Note 20 should be a light version with the downgrade. That makes a lot of sense. Don't call it a Note 20. Call it a Note 20 Lite, or call it a Note 19. Or call it something else, because with the specs that it has, it doesn't deserve the Note 20 moniker. But knowing Samsung and seeing what they do, pulling what they can out of their sleeves, I guess it doesn't. I'm like, yeah, I don't know. It says Realme 6 beats the Note 20 by 90 hertz. That Note 20 should have just been an A91 with no S Pen. There you go. Okay, let me scroll down here again. Javier says, now remember that 120 hertz is only applicable to 1080p. Tana, so lit. Tana, what's going on, man? Welcome. Nice to see you in here again. Yo, what up, Jerome? What up, Tana? Nice to see you, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Javier says, seriously, Samsung, were you lacing up? I can't. Well, I feel like I've sworn enough to get demonetized today, but I'm not going to bring that. I agree with you, Javier. I agree with you. Raven John says, do you think an upgrade from the Note 9 to the Note 20 Ultra is worth it, or should I stick on to my Note 9? Well, you know what, Raymond, let me ask you, do you have a Note 9 because you appreciate Samsung products, or is it something else? Because I guess what I'm trying to ask you is, what is it about the Note 9 that you like? What is it about the Note 20 that you prefer? And are there other manufacturers that you would rather pay, or are there other manufacturers that you consider instead of Samsung? Or are you just looking at Samsung only? And here's the thing. If you are just Samsung only, that's okay. I understand. Some people want to be loyal to a certain brand, and I get that. I totally get that. I'm like that with Google. I have a bias towards Google. I usually will buy any Google product that comes around, and that's just because that's how I am. So if you are looking at solely Samsung, then we can talk about that. So let me know. I'm just wondering what it is about the Note 9 or Note 20 that you really like, that wants to keep you in that brand. So just out of curiosity, just trying to get a feel for what you're looking for. Mauricio says here, curiously, they did not use the 40 megapixel front camera of the S20 Ultra in the new Note 20 Ultra, and 500 milliamp hours less battery. Yeah, I'm surprised that it has a much smaller battery. Why is the battery a lot smaller? Is there a reason for that? On the Note 20 Ultra, you would imagine that they would have kept a 5,000 milliamp hour battery. Oddweight says, dude, even MKBHD straight up called the Note 20 overpriced. No subtle remarks. Yeah, I don't think any subtle remarks are needed. That's it's completely overpriced. How could I recommend $1,000 for that phone? Samsung, you know what Samsung's going to do? Samsung is typical of doing this. They're going to go ahead and they're going to make 1,000, deals come out. $200 off, $400 off. It's what they do. Samsung's good at doing that. They're good at doing that. Deepak says, come on, Samsung, what's happening to your marketing team? Yeah, their marketing team has been made to lie or stretch the truth or manipulate or exaggerate or whatever. Javier says, it's the pen and some of the integrations with Microsoft that might cause them to jack up the price, but seriously, a plastic Samsung flagship is dead in the water. I agree. They're probably going to drop the phone easily. Probably in a couple weeks, if not a month or so. Paul says flabbergasted is today's word. Yeah, flabbergasted is a good way of putting that, Paul. I agree. Okay. Tana says, finally got the 4A. I'm glad you got it, Tana. I think I did see a notification come up for me that you did an unboxing. So I'm glad you got it. Guys, anyone in here, if you guys got a chance, check out Tana's channel. Tana is a fellow Chicagoan, and he was lucky enough to get a 4A. I was not lucky enough to get a 4A, but I'm happy for Tana that he was able to get one. He told me yesterday that he hasn't had a Pixel phone. He's never had a Pixel phone. The last Google phone he's had is a Nexus 6P. So yeah, check out his stuff. He makes some great content. So feel free to check him out. Tana So Lit. You can find him on YouTube there. Okay. Deepak says a plastic Note 20 should have been priced at $700. There you go. Javier says you buy the Note 20 Ultra if you want the specs. That's it. Otherwise, the UI will be similar to what you have. Thank you guys for sharing the feedback. Days One also says, hell, they could have gone Gorilla Glass 5 to save money if they needed. That's a good point too. That's a good point. Oddweight says iPhone SE at $400 has a glass back, faster processor, longer software support, and no ads. Apple killing it. There you go. Javier says Jerome about to lose his shit. Yeah, I did. Okay. Let me see here. Iqbal on Facebook commenting. Iqbal, welcome, man. Hello, I'm from Indonesia. Iqbal Monroe, welcome. Appreciate you stopping by. Yes, Paul is correct. That's what FFS stands for. Yes, the mouse. Welcome to the stream too. How's it going, man? Welcome. Brian with the $1 super chat, dropping that $1. Brian, thank you so much for the support, man. Appreciate it. Brian's always dropping in with extra support that way. Thank you so much, man. Thank you for always going that extra mile. Appreciate it, man. Thank you so much, Brian. And speaking of another Brian, the other Brian from Facebook is here. Guys, hit that like and follow to see tech news live every day. Brian, thank you, man. Appreciate you giving some support here. Always nice to see people come from other platforms too. Thank you. Brian also says Samsung can EAD. Very true. I agree. Okay. Deepak says there's an old lady in my front building apartment, not an Italian beauty. But are you sure, Deepak? Are you sure? Maybe you just need to get an S20 Ultra, get that 100 times space zoom, and you'll be able to know for sure if she's an Italian beauty. Oh man. Mauricio says Oppo laughing at Samsung with its 65 watts of super fast charging. Yep, for sure. Javier says I remember Flossie doing a test about that 25 and 45 watt charging, and the difference in charging was negligible. Is it really that negligible though? Because my 40 watt, my P40 Pro Plus, on my P40 Pro Plus, I can do a dead battery, completely dead battery, from 0 to 97% in an hour. 97% in an hour. And it's about an hour and 7 minutes to get to 100% after that. So, I mean, technically an hour and 7 minutes, but from a dead battery, from not able to turn it on, I can get to almost 100% in an hour. I mean, I don't know, maybe 25 watts is also about an hour. I don't know the actual specs on that, but if we want to talk about technical specs and being transparent and honest to your consumer, do not call it 45 watt charging if it cannot perform 45 watt charging, or if it cannot sustain 45 watt charging. I think this article was even saying that it was only sustaining 30 to 35 watt, and it would hit there, but then it would drop back down. So, yeah, I don't know. Okay. Hold on. I think I lost my spot here. Oh, there we go. Deepak says S20 Ultra was a huge disappointment. I sent it back after a week. I don't blame you. At all. So Brian says here, the 45 watt charger is barely faster than the 25 watt on the Note 10 Plus. I couldn't drop more money, so it charges 5 to 10 minutes faster. Well, there you go. Demal says also Gorilla Glass versions don't mean higher is better. Gorilla Glass 4 onwards got better at scratch resistance, but became more prone to cracking. They're just different, not necessarily better. That is true. I mean, apparently they're supposed to be better. I would imagine they should be better. Is that also deceptive marketing practices? That's I would have to look into that. I don't know too much about the actual, but I did know that about scratch resistance, but and the prone to cracking, but I would have to read more into it. But thank you for sharing that feedback. Thank you for sharing that. Deepak says the 4A and Nord are very good choices for 95% of people. I agree. Let me see here. Mauricio says the advantage of faster charges is within the first 20 to 30 minutes. Thank you for sharing that too. 6 says it's funny Samsung is going back to the days where people criticize them for their build quality with the Note 20. That's a fair point too, man. For sure. Fear the Rue 42, welcome, man. Picked up a refurbished Pixel 4, just keeping you up to date. Pray for me. Fear the Rue, I'm glad that you made the decision. I hope that what I could help with and what the rest of the chat could help with was helpful for you. I hope it kind of just put your mind to ease on what to get, but enjoy it, man. Let me know how it's doing. Now you get to use the Pixel stand, so you got that as well. So thank you. Thank you for trusting us in asking, and hopefully that advice was helpful. Sean is in here. Sean, what up, Jerome? What up, Sean? What's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Sergio, what's up, dude? What's up, Sergio? How's it going? Welcome to the stream as well. Oddweight says, bring back HTC, please. HTC apparently has been working on some stuff, so we'll see. Hopefully they have something in the works. Maybe. Tana says that Samsung event was the most boring event in a while until the end. I didn't even get to watch the end. What happened at the end? Guys, fill me in. I don't know what happened at the end of that event. Sean says Samsung trying to finesse their customers' pockets. Yep. Deepak says, I have a bias towards iPhones and Pixels. Deepak, you're like me. That's probably why you're in here every day. Let me see here. Sean says Huawei is making their own app store, Pedal Search. Yeah, I've heard about that. I haven't really read too much about it either, though. I'll have to take a look. Thank you for saying that, though. Sean says I used to have a bias with Google, but those Pixels are lacking quality. Fair enough. That is a fair enough point. I mean, I think at this point the 4A is at least its redeeming its redeeming factor or saving grace, because at that price point, it is hard to kind of pick things out, especially with the specs it gives you and that price. If we're talking about the Pixel 4, that's another story. Hopefully with the Pixel 5, we'll get a $700 price point, but maybe it'll actually pack the specs and give us like new sensor, like new hardware when it comes to the camera, but we'll wait and see. 61988. Hey, Jerome, this is 6, right? 6. This is the other. This is 6. Louis, 6 Louis, right? What's going on, 6? Welcome, man. Welcome. Thank you for messaging me on Twitch. Okay. Okay. Let me scroll down here. Sean says the event was that bad. I mean, I covered it at the top of the hour. I felt like the event was cringe. That's really how I felt about it. But yeah, I don't know. You'd have to take a look and see. Maybe you just need to watch like the first 10 minutes and, you can get a feel for it for yourself. Brian says the 25 watt does 0 to 100% in an hour and 12 minutes. So yeah, like a difference of 5 minutes. So yeah, it's not the biggest change then. Yeah, 45 watts was barely better. Thank you for sharing. Well, then again, what's the battery on the Note 10? I forgot to mention that because the battery on my Huawei, so to get to 0 to 97% in an hour, and then 0 to 100% on a dead battery or whatever on my P40 Pro Plus was an hour and 7 minutes, and I have a 4200 milliamp hour, or is it 4300? Now I have to double check because I forgot now. 40 Pro Plus battery size, 4200. So on my 40 watt, I got 42, or on my 4200 milliamp hour battery, I got to an hour and 7 minutes to 100%, a dead battery to 100%. Okay. Anyway, Tana says that one guy screwed up the Xbox part of the event, overreacted too much, looked forced. I'll have to check that out. I haven't seen it. Okay. Let me scroll back down here. Okay, Fear the Rue, he was saying, you guys all helped me make the decision. Thanks again. Never got my cheese, just saying. You're welcome, Fear the Rue, you're welcome. Okay, Deepak Murthy, this is a good comment here. Apple targeting consumers, Samsung cheating consumers, not happy. That's a good way of putting it, man. It's a good way of putting it. All right, let me scroll down here. The mouse says Google ruined HTC and didn't even get better at making hardware. Oh man, Deepak is saying audio stream is slowly going out of sync. Are we good? Are we good right now? Please let me know. Keep me posted. If this is something that continues, I'm gonna have to I don't know if it's my new apartment. Maybe I'll have to call Xfinity because I'm stuck with Xfinity, which sucks. I actually tried to touch base with another internet company to see if they could provide service in here, which is the company is called WebPass, which is they work with Google Fiber. So if I can get those guys in here instead, I am going to swap over. I'll even pay the termination fee, which is like $200 or whatever, just so I can have a better upload. Cause last time they can offer up to like 500 megs of upload. The last place I was at. Anyway. Okay. So Sean says, yeah, you don't feel bad about the flaws with a $500 phone. Yeah. Or like $350 for the Pixel 4a for sure. It is out of sync, dude. That sucks. Um, hopefully that doesn't, hopefully that doesn't stick. Hopefully that corrects itself. Arville's Corsax. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Hopefully I'm saying that right. Arville's, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you. I don't think I've seen you in here before. Tana says, Xfinity sponsors my channel. Sean, I refreshed it. Now it's gone. Okay, good. Okay, guys, we are over the hour here, and I have a meeting at 3:30, so I kind of have to make the rest of this quick. I know that I was going to talk about the rest of the Samsung events, but I didn't know I was going to have that like tirade. Tirade, is that the right word? Yeah, I was going to have that tirade about it. So we're going to go ahead. We're going to talk about the other phone here. We're going to talk about the Galaxy Fold Z2. It's vastly improved, but now it needs a purpose. I don't know too much about this phone, guys. I am not one to spend money on a folding phone because currently for me, I don't really see the point in one at the moment, but this looks like it is a good improvement. I think if anything out of the event, this is supposedly the phone that like was the star of the show. I think I didn't get a chance to really watch everything else, but we're going to go over the specs. We're going to talk about it, and we're probably going to close it at that. So the follow-up to, thank you, PC World. The follow-up to the Galaxy Fold is such a departure from the original beleaguered model that Samsung gave it a new name. The Galaxy Z Fold 2 would seem to fix much of what was wrong with the original Fold, bringing bigger outside and inside screens, better cameras, and a smarter design with a stronger screen and sturdier hinge. Okay, so this is probably the big one here, a sturdier hinge. This is something that this sturdier hinge is something that I think a lot of people were concerned about, which is one of the reasons I didn't recommend people getting the first generation. I normally don't tell people to get the first generation of anything, but having a foldable phone or a folding phone and a hinge that has been now shown to break or, get messed up or whatever, or that, it doesn't last its time. It's good to see here that they've worked on a better design, a better hinge. So let's see. I know that they fixed the notch here and they just put a hole punch instead, which is great. And even for those able to afford the Fold, just an FYI, this is a $2,000 phone, so don't get it twisted. If you're buying this phone, you either have the money or you've been saving money for this phone. It's primarily an on-the-go look-at-me device. I agree. I feel like that's what it is. And that's even if it didn't cost a couple $1,000. It's possible Samsung will lower the price to a more palatable level, but that's doubtful. The rest of the Unpacked devices aren't exactly priced to move, so Samsung's new normal doesn't take shrinking budgets into account. The Note 20 Ultra starts at $1,300, the Galaxy Tab S7 Plus starts at $850, and the Galaxy Watch 3 will set you back at least $400, so I don't expect the Z Fold 2 to bring any surprises with its price. If anything, it might cost more. But the new Fold isn't about value, we know this. So the hinge is better. There's no more notch. The introduction of an ultra thin glass, the addition of a 6.2-inch cover screen that's 2 inches bigger than the original. And they're talking about the front here. This front, wait, this is the front, right? The front is a much bigger, like all screen or mostly screen display, as opposed to last year's where it was a much smaller display. It opens to an even bigger 7.6-inch display, up from 7.3 inches, has a stronger hinge for finer adjustments, better dust protection for fewer unsightly bumps, and an overall cleaner aesthetic while retaining the character of the original. We'll need to learn more about the specs, but based on what we know, Samsung has made needed and substantial improvements to the Fold and raised the bar for its competitors. So that's good. I'm glad to see it. Still a lot of money. I don't know who's going to be paying money for this. I don't know if there's anyone in this chat that even like wants to spend this kind of money on a phone. I don't know if they're going to be doing that, but I just thought I'd bring it up. I think if anything, the nice thing here is the technology is moving forward. We're seeing improvements in the design. It's maybe bringing foldable phones into a more acceptable mainstream kind of thing where we can say, yeah, it might be a lot of money, but at least you're buying a quality product. I don't know if we're there yet. And after reading what I did today about Samsung and after like bitching and moaning about what I did earlier, I don't know where I stand with them at this point. It's unfortunate, and maybe they'll kind of correct their ways, and maybe we'll see other phones where they're not like using these marketing like gimmicky marketing terms and like still not providing the technical specs that it needs to. But yeah, that's the Galaxy Z Fold 2. I really did not mean to just spend 2 minutes on it, but I have a long day today, guys. So let me get back up here. Marcus A, what's going on, man? Welcome to the stream. Are there any thoughts on this Pixel device coming with a 6.8-inch 120 hertz screen? Screen size may be a bit off. Do you think a 765G can run that without catching fire? That's a good question. I mean, if anything, right, we're talking about the Pixel 5 or the Pixel 5 XL, most likely the Pixel 5 XL. Does anyone know here in chat if there is a 765G chipset running 120 hertz? Because Marcus A, I'll be honest with you, I don't know off the top of my head. I never thought about that. I didn't even realize how much more power it would probably take to run a display at that refresh rate on a 765G. That's a good question. That's something I might have to take some time and look into. Is that something that you're looking forward to? Are you kind of saving your money for a device with 120 hertz, but you want it to be a Pixel phone? I didn't think about that. Thank you for bringing that up. I really don't know if it can run at those specs. I'll have to take a look. Okay. Brian, message me your email address. I can invite you to the Facebook Level Up program so you can earn quote stars, their tip system. Oh, I didn't even realize that was a thing on Facebook. What? Okay. Brian, I will do that. Close to the YouTube system. Brian, thank you for sharing that. I had no idea. Yeah, I'll email you my email address. It's just hello@jeromeortega.com. But yeah, I will, I'll get that to you. Thank you, man. I think you might've mentioned that before and I didn't even realize that. Thank you, Brian. Thanks so much. Brian, nice to see you, by the way. Again, we need to catch up. Maybe if you're free one of these days, we'll go grab a beer outdoors somewhere. And that goes for anyone else here from Chicago. If you guys are in the area and you guys want to like grab a beer or like, I don't know, whatever, please contact me. Maybe we can do an outing or something. That might be fun. Let me know. Jay Smith, I'm coming over, unpack and move in. Do you have maid service? Not this guy. I'm living in like 350 square feet. If you're not aware, Jay, that's my bed right here. My bed's right here. The bathroom's right here. My living room is right there with the TV. This TV is going to get hung up on the wall eventually. I want to do, would you guys be interested in watching an apartment tour? It's going to be very small. And I recorded it on my iPhone, I think, or my Huawei. But I have an empty apartment tour that I might make a video for. I might release that on Saturday so that it's not like during the regular weekdays. I don't know why I'm asking you guys. I'm probably just going to post it anyway. So if people watch it, they watch it. If they don't, then they don't, whatever. Anyway, Jay, welcome to the stream. Nice to see you, man. Appreciate you stopping by. Okay. Sean says folding phones are still too early and overpriced. I agree. Deepak says this second gen fold looks much better, but it's a long and winding road. I agree. It does look a lot better though. From what I've seen on it, it does look good. Arville says Jerome has some common sense about phones. I try to. Arville's, if you're new here, the one thing that I try to promote is not getting duped by the manufacturer, not overspending money on a phone, making sure people spend their money properly. The one thing I talk about a lot here is not spending money on 5G right now, because 5G is still not worth it. Since we're here, we might do this. You know what? Maybe I'll do this daily, guys. What I did yesterday is I did a 5G speed test because my Huawei P40 Pro is capable of 5G. If you can't see that here, yeah, there. Well, it kind of zoomed in. I don't know how you can get this autofocus to like pay more attention. There you go. If you notice at the bottom left there, that says 5G. So I have 5G activated. I'm going to turn off Wi-Fi right now, and let's do a speed test. So you can see how good 5G is. For anybody that's watching right now that's curious how good 5G is on T-Mobile, let me show you how good 5G is on T-Mobile. Look at that download speed, guys. Oh my God. I live in Chicago. I live in a very busy part of Chicago on the north side of the city. And you would imagine if any place is going to have good 5G, it's going to be in a dense populated city. Look at that download speed, guys. If you get a 5G phone right now, you can get the same speeds as I do. You can get 8 megabits per second down. 8 megabits. Imagine what you can do with that 5G speed. Imagine. Obviously, I'm being sarcastic. 32 is my upload, which is great for 5G, though. I love seeing that 5G speed for upload, but my download speeds, they're typically not that small. They're not typically that low, under 10, but I usually get anywhere between like 15 and 20 or 20 and 25 at the most. My 5G speeds are awful on here. 5G is nowhere near ready at this point. Maybe Verizon, maybe AT&T. I don't have any of those phones, but I already know how Verizon goes. And, you know, you got to be standing in front of their millimeter wave towers, like licking the pole and, you know, making sure you're standing on 1 foot and 2 fingers in the air. And that's how you can get the gigabit speed. Anyway. I know I kind of went off topic there. Okay. Brian says Pixels can barely handle 90 hertz. That's true. The only time I ever really notice my Pixel 4 with 90 hertz is when I'm on my app drawer. Otherwise, I don't really notice 90 hertz on my phone either. Sean has a good point here too. 120 hertz is a gimmick outside of gaming. Like I said, again, I notice it when I'm like scrolling through my app drawer on my Pixel 4, but otherwise I don't really notice it. I don't notice it. Jerome, audio is again out of sync. I don't know what's going on. I got to call Comcast and complain? You guys know how this is going to work. I can't even argue with Comcast or Xfinity or whatever. I don't know. Okay. Marcus says, check the Qualcomm site. 765 maxes out at 60 hertz. So this is a device we haven't seen yet. Wait a minute. So wait. If the 765G maxes out at 60 hertz, are you telling me, well, maybe the Pixel 5 won't, well, I don't know. Who knows what we're going to get? I don't know. Okay. Anyway, Paul says, yes, it is, but I really hope it's gone tomorrow. Oh, the audio. Who knows? D-Box says, I get 150 megabits per second on Vodafone LTE here in Italy. Here in Italy, yes, I know. Everyone else overseas gets everything better than we do here in the States. And I just, what can I say? Like we get duped here all day. Gboy888 dropping by to give a thumbs up. Thank you, Gboy888. How's Long Beach doing, man? How's Southern California, man? It's been a minute since I've been there now. When did I go there? Well, I was in San Diego back in April. No, I was in San Diego in March, right? March. No, I was in San Diego at the end of February. Anyway, no, look, yeah, Oddweight says here, dude, Nord has 90 hertz with a 765G. There you go. So what's up with that? Please inform me, chat. You guys know I don't know everything else, or I don't know everything in the world. So, but I appreciate you guys talking here in chat. Okay, real quick. I didn't get a chance to say this, but guys, if you guys have not had a chance, please click that thumbs up button. It's just a way to support. I do appreciate it. Please do me a favor and hit that thumbs up. It is a way to support. If you guys do not know, I stream every weekday at 2 p.m. Central. So if you are not a subscriber, hit that subscribe button. I'm telling you, hit that subscribe button, because if you don't, then, you know, stuff happens. No, it's just a way to support. And last but not least, guys, if you are in the chat, you notice people with green in their name. If you notice that people have a red Chicago star next to their name, that is because they are part. Let me get it. They are part of the Phone Jerome fam, and you could be one too for as little as 99 cents a month. All you got to do is click that join button. You'll get the green in your name. You'll get the red Chicago star. You'll get to use custom emoji, and you will get your name in every single one of my intros and outros of my live streams. All you got to do is click that join button. And if you can't find it, you can go to youtube.com/phone Jerome/join. And that is it. That's all I got, I think, for you guys today. Let me see chat here. Gboy888 says, great weather in the LBC. Looking forward to your 4A coverage. I'll let you know. I'll keep you posted, Gboy888. Appreciate you stopping by. Fear the Ruse says, can you go? Oh no, Godzilla's attacking the city. Audio issue. I don't even, please don't flame me. I've never seen it. I don't know what they say there, but hopefully my impersonation of it was spot on. I know it wasn't. Paul says, just screenshotted my speed test to Jerome. Thank you. Thank you for showing off, guys. The iQOO Z1X has 765G and goes to 120 hertz. Well, there you go. So we do have a little more information there. So yeah. Tana says, Jerome, I'm proud of you, bro. You're definitely killing it. Keep grinding, my dude. Tana, thank you so much, man. I appreciate it. I appreciate the love. Tana, yeah, anytime, man. Anytime you want to hop back on here or have a conversation or do a collab or something, please hit me up. Let me know. I would love to work on something with you. Or even if you just want to like meet up one day and grab a beer or grab lunch or dinner, man, like hit me up. I mean, I know you're on the south side and I know I'm on the north side, but we can always meet. We can meet downtown. We'll go meet downtown. We'll go grab a beer somewhere. Let me know, man. Let me know. Paul says 160 megabits per second on 4G, 25 up. I hate you guys. I seriously do. I hate you guys. Gboy888 says you should have been sent a gift from Google SMH. I know. I have no idea why. Google just does not like me anymore. They don't. Deepak says the Realme X50 5G also has 765G and 120 hertz. Yeah, man. What's up? I don't get it. I don't get it. Fear the Rue 42 says off topic. How many wins for the Bears this season? Not enough. Not enough. I can say that about all of our teams this year and for the last couple of years. Chicago we just don't have the greatest teams. We're very loyal fans, but we don't have the greatest teams. Paul says the plot thickens. Tana, okay, cool. We can definitely link up and make great content. Hashtag yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. There you go. Tana, thanks, man. Thanks. All right, guys. I think that's it for today. I got a meeting. I got a video call in 7 minutes, so I got to get moving. Anyway, guys, with that being said, Tana says we're going to the playoffs. The Bears. There you go. There you go. Okay, guys, what am I doing here? I'm trying to figure out. Oh, there we go. Okay. Tomorrow, 2 p.m. Central, I will be back. Please, guys, come back. We'll do it all over again. We'll talk tech. We'll have our conversations. I do want to thank everybody today for liking, for subscribing, to all the people who super chatted. Well, that was Brian today. Brian, thank you for the super chat. For my past super chatters, thank you so much. For all of my patrons, all of my YouTube members, for people like Paul who has donated to me on Patreon as well. I want to thank everybody for stopping by today. Come back tomorrow, do it all over again. We'll have more stuff to talk about. I have a lot of stories that I haven't had a chance to discuss, but we'll talk about it then. Come back tomorrow. We'll do it again. I keep saying the same thing. Here we go. There's my bye. Here's the play button, the transition over. See you tomorrow, guys.